You're listening to Thursday Night AMP on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
I am the artist, Sudoku.
Oh, are you the Prince Iakea artist, or are you the Shinsuke Nakamura Michael Jackson artist?
Oh, one of the artists.
Well, not hailing from Gary, Indiana, is my other co-host, the wonderful and talented Abby.
Good evening, everybody.
So I suppose I'm going to start there since I've already made reference to it. Why did Dolph Ziggler try to get that idea over? I know we've said that his moveset is inspired by Michael Jackson, but he's not literally trying to be Michael Jackson. I don't think this works.
It doesn't work. I mean, the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura, I hate it. I hate it. They're making him into a caricature of himself, and it's not good.
And Dolph Ziggler is not helping matters with his promo about how he grew up in Gary with his brothers and sisters, and you all remember Janet, and you all remember Tito. It's like, oh, come on, dude. This is weak.
It's like if you have to point out that he's doing Michael Jackson moves, it kind of you just don't get it.
Right. It defeats the whole purpose of him emulating Michael, but bringing it with his own personality and style and unique Japanese moveset. It's not
exactly. It's not like he's playing Las Vegas as a Michael Jackson impersonator.
No, and it's just dumb.
Give it time.
Yeah, they could actually take it that direction. This is WWE, but that just set such a sour note for me at the start of SmackDown that the rest of the show after that was like one big what?
I know. I just sat here and it was like I never thought in my life I would think anything with Shinsuke in it would leave a bad taste in my mouth. That left a bad taste in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Plus having him out there talking with the mouth guard. What?
He's been doing that for a while, though. That one I won't blame on WWE. That's kind of his thing.
That I don't have much of a problem with, but Dolph Ziggler is completely the wrong guy to open up Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown with. Wrong guy to have a first feud with.
I mean, anytime we ever heard him cut a promo on NXT, he always had the mouth guard in on that.
No, he didn't. He only had it in one time.
Maybe I'm remembering wrong. I could swear it was more than one.
No, he only had it one time, and the rest of the time, he's naturally got kind of a lisp.
Well, maybe that's why I'm thinking so, because I'm just used to the way he pronounces things, that it just comes across like he does.
Yeah, but the mouth guard makes it worse, and it's like, what? Ziggler, I don't think, is a bad choice for our first program. I think it's a bad choice to go out there and have him talk with. To play off of. In the ring, I think the match will be fine.
Once they let him wrestle, if they let him wrestle.
Yeah, but interacting in a promo, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they're waiting until Backlash to debut Shinsuke Nakamura, at least in a wrestling capacity. There's something to be said for slow burn, but on the other hand, there's something to be said about bringing Shinsuke Nakamura up, the night after the SmackDown after WrestleMania, and having him wrestle right then to cement SmackDown as your A brand.
Right, and I know the whole gimmick is that he's the dark match, you stay to see him wrestle, but why are people going to stay to see him wrestle if they've never seen him wrestle? I know, I'm sure you're left speechless by that, and you should be, because it's dumb.
This is one of my worries with him coming to WWE, and in NXT, it was fine. It worked well, except for, some just of how NXT was working then. But on the main roster, it's like, oh, please let them see the error of their ways and not hold them out of the ring for another month doing promos like this.
Yeah. The only good part of
because that's not going to work.
The one thing I liked about it was when he spoke in Japanese, and then all of a sudden he said, jackass! That's like, okay. That's perfect. That is a great way to end this segment, because the rest of it sucked, but that part was good.
That part was good, except for the crowd wetting him. That sucked.
Oh, you know what, though? Alexa Bliss was actually one of my few highlights of the week. Uh-huh. She totally owned that crowd. Alexa Bliss is the greatest. Say what? That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, if more people would do that instead of just letting the crowd do the what shit, it might go away. Mm-hmm. And they might get tired of doing it if they get shut down. But
or at least they could be made to look like patsies, because they've been incorporated into the storyline, so they're not disrupting anything. So that's usually how WWE kills things, is they co-opt it.
Yeah.
But at least in this case, it makes Alexa Bliss look smarter than everybody, which is a good role for her.
Yeah, this was just not a good week for WWE, except for NXT.
Oh,
NXT was actually a highlight.
205 Live wasn't bad either. Akira Tozawa's money.
Well, I had a feeling you were going to like NXT no matter what with the UK talent on the show. I kind of figured that was a high point for you.
Well, no, I mean, NXT this week went back to what made it so great. And all it took was one profile piece on one wrestler.
That was part of it. You know, part of it was also having Aleister Black squash a jobber. That was brilliant.
Any time you have him there, it's perfect. Throw in the guys from the UK tournament. I mean,
the mustache versus mustache match.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too.
But it felt like the old NXT with that character piece on Roddy that was just superbly done, which they should have done long before now. Because bringing these people in that have a name is one thing, but just expecting them to coast on their name hasn't worked.
No. It had that indie feel, but with that WWE polish to it.
Yeah, and that's how it worked with Finn Balor and getting him over, and Sami Zayn, and to an extent Kevin Owens. You had these things where the fans had more than just a name and good wrestling matches to get invested in. They had a person to get invested in. A story behind this person to get invested in.
On a somewhat related note, Abby, I saw a gift set on Tumblr that made me think of you.
Oh, Lord.
No,
what was it?
This is good. You'll like this. It was 4 pictures of Fergal Devitt, and I'm talking before he was Finn Balor. It was just him opening his jacket, standing there, opening his jacket a little more, revealing his abs, and then smirking.
Oh, yeah. The abs thing has always been a big deal with Finn. Yes, always.
It just screamed you. I was like, I wish I had some way to cut and paste this into Facebook, but I didn't think it was going to work, so I just left it. But I did reblog it, so if you go to AngryMarks.tumblr.com, you'll see it there.
I'll have to search out the Tumblr then.
Mm-hmm. But yes, that's one thing we definitely need more of to bring WWE up, is put more of Finn on TV. The more the better.
And don't put him in there with somebody that's going to hurt him.
Yeah, well, at least Jinder's on SmackDown now, so thank God for that.
Lord. Oh, yeah, I don't even want to.
Jinder.
I don't want to talk about Jinder. I don't.
Nobody does, but he's not going anywhere because this push is only getting bigger.
The Roman Reigns of SmackDown.
And that reminds me of something I meant to tell you, Jason. I was watching Wrestling with Regret before the show tonight, and they were doing the Animation Month episode on the Jetsons WWE crossover movie. And apparently in the future, when they bring the WWE superstars back from the past, they have to wrestle their robot counterparts. And Roman gets pissed off and says, "There can only be one Roman Reigns, believe that." And Brian Zane, the host of the show, is like, counterpoint, why does there have to be one?
Yeah. Why can't there be 0?
Yeah, that was what made me think of you. I started laughing immediately. I was like, yeah, that was a line just for Jason.
Just what we need. Roman Reigns with a Bill and Ted 2 evil robot version of himself.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah,
the evil robot us version of Reigns.
That was basically the whole premise, was there were evil robot versions of everybody, and the Big Show was controlling them all. Why? Because the Big Show got frozen in a block of ice and thawed out 100 years later.
Wow, this makes a shitload of sense, just listening to you talk about it.
I know, right? That's why Animation Month is so hilarious on Wrestling with Regret, because none of these movies make a damn lick of sense. And most of them are written by the same 2 people.
Lord have mercy.
Kind of like Raw and SmackDown. You look at that and like, oh my God, this doesn't make a lick of sense, but we're watching it anyway. The
one thing that they do seem to be doing right on SmackDown, though, is the women. I will give them that.
And the fact they didn't have a dumpster match on SmackDown, I'll give them that.
Oh. But yeah, I mean, they're really setting it up where it looks like Becky Lynch is poised to turn on Charlotte at any point now and join that faction, lead that faction.
Well, actually, I was getting the impression the whole point was to turn Charlotte babyface.
Yeah. I bet they may do a double turn her babyface and turn Becky Lynch heel.
Maybe. I was more taking the impression that it would be like the bad girls versus the good girls. And yes, I'm including James Ellsworth as one of the girls. So I was expecting it would be like Becky and Charlotte and Naomi against the rest of them, with James Ellsworth being his usual whatever he is.
My mind just represses James Ellsworth. It's like I don't even see him on the screen. My brain just blots him out.
Well, all things considered, the fact that I kind of thought he could go away a few months ago, pairing him with Carmella has actually done him some good.
In what way?
In that, at least as her flunky and her protege or whatever, it's like absurd, but it's absurd in a way that it's like, I'm not sick of you, I need you to go away now. Now it's like, I'm waiting for the point where she just totally kicks his ass, and I know it's coming at some point.
See, for me, it's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I'm sick of you, Ellsworth, but now I'm also sick of you, Carmella.
Well, to me, Carmella really wasn't doing much of anything before she was paired with Ellsworth, so I kind of see it as being better for both of them.
And now it's even worse. Carmella needs repackaged in the worst way.
Well, I want to repackage Kalisto after what happened to him on Raw. That was terrible. A fluke win because the guy steps into the dumpster.
In a dumpster match that has no continuity with past dumpster matches. You don't have to close the lid or anything.
Right. But it just reminded me of that stupid tables match where Big Show stepped through the table on the side of the ring and broke it and lost. It was that weak.
I wonder who thought that was going to be a good idea.
Yeah, it does Kalisto no favors because he got immediately destroyed afterwards. So how does having a win over Braun Strowman do him any favors at all?
It doesn't.
And on top of that, this whole thing of making Braun Strowman look like a monster, which they've been doing for the last couple of weeks, if you're going to make him look like a monster, then he needs to do monstrous things. When he put him in the dumpster and pushed it off the edge, that dumpster maybe went a foot. It didn't even fall that far.
Well, you don't really want little bitty Kalisto bouncing around in that dumpster going, on a 6-foot drop.
No, but I'm kind of thinking he probably wasn't even in there. There was some sleight of hand and he got out before it was even pushed. Just like we saw Roman Reigns hop out the back of the ambulance before it got tipped.
I don't even care. I know how this whole thing with Strowman is going to end, and it's going to end with Reigns beating him clean.
Of course.
It's already happened once. History will repeat itself. I am so close. If there was a way I could and still keep writing and, helping to run a website, I would stop WWE altogether. Because that's how sick of it I am. You send these folks from SmackDown to Raw and Raw to SmackDown. You start SmackDown for feuds that we've already seen. You start them back up on Raw again.
Mm-hmm.
Other people just disappear. Like Miz and Dean Ambrose. We've already seen it.
I was just about to say you beat me to it.
And then having Miz basically call out Ambrose as being lazy and complacent and have that be something that somebody put in his ear in the back for a public call out, if that is the case, which is kind of what the rumor is right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what's the point? I get that the McMahons as a family get off on publicly humiliating their talent and emasculating them, but why? It's not entertaining. It's not fun.
And it doesn't serve the purpose of making your fans interested in the people you're emasculating. It does the opposite.
The whole point of wrestling, and I was doing another podcast yesterday, the reason I became a fan is because I had people to care about as people and characters, not just tuning in to see good matches. If I want to see good wrestling matches, I can watch Ring of Honor, I can watch New Japan, I can watch Progress, I can watch Rev Pro, I can watch ICW. To me, WWE, they need to get back to what they did with NXT with Roddy. Make it character driven and not so much entertainment and skits and segments, because people don't fucking care. Just look at the ratings this week. Down, 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 down. They don't
And then when you're
care.
not doing stupid shit, when you are doing wrestling, you're doing stupid gimmick matches with Kalisto and Braun Strowman, you're elevating Jinder Mahal to the big title contender on SmackDown. Even when you are doing the wrestling, they're doing it wrong.
Well, I want to take something Abby said even a step further. If I go back to the 1980s when I became enamored with pro wrestling, when it was guys like Macho Man and Hulk Hogan and Jake the Snake Roberts, you didn't see them being dressed down by a general manager or emasculated by Stephanie McMahon. Of course, she was a little kid at the time, but you get what I'm trying to say. These characters were not belittled on television. They were presented as larger than life. They were larger than life in their attitude and personality as well, and you could invest in them because it was like, wow, this is something completely different than you'll ever see in real life. They are not being brought down to your level.
Yeah, you never had Jack Kennedy or Vince Sr. or Vince Jr. come out and start berating the talent back in those days.
Right.
You didn't have that, and you didn't have, and I'm not complaining about, the lines being blurred between reality and business, but you didn't have guys in the back or the management saying, okay, this is what I want you to say because we have a problem with this guy, but we're not going to address it, so we want you to go out there and do it.
I think the jumping the shark moment on that for me was when Triple H was cutting promos on Daniel Bryan and calling him a B-plus player. I didn't. Go ahead.
I mean, it's one thing to go out there and cut a promo on a guy. That's fine. You expect trash talk and bullshit. But when you start doing it to the point where it gets uncomfortably personal and you know that there is, okay, this isn't to sell a match. This isn't to sell a character. This isn't to sell a product. This is kind of what I think of you in real life. And it's just something nasty and petty and low. To me, that takes a line. That's the line that goes from it being entertaining and being fun and a good way to sell a match to being something that's a turnoff.
And then it forces you to look at the product with an entirely different critical eye and go, if that's how you feel about it, why is he even on your television? Why do you even employ him?
If this guy is lazy and complacent, why is he here? Mm-hmm. If this guy is a B-plus player who, could barely make it on the indies, then why did you bring him in? If this guy, you're going to send him out there to make him look like a fool, even though he's a big name everywhere else, why did you do it? And the stuff, it kind of goes back to like with The Miz and Daniel Bryan. It got a little bit too uncomfortably personal there. And I think a lot of people were turned off by it because it takes you out of escaping from your reality and it puts you into this uncomfortable reality that, no, this isn't entertaining. This is now something that's personal and probably shouldn't be on this kind of television show.
On top of the fact that we were never, ever going to get a payoff for it because there was no way Daniel Bryan could physically assault The Miz. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
Why give us something we can't get a conclusion to? Well, that seems to be what they do most of the time.
In that situation, it kind of reminds me of the Dean Ambrose situation right now that's being rumored that's going on. Is this somebody in the back and how they feel about him right now, and let's go out there on television and stick it to you for whatever reason.
I get the sneaking feeling they're just cross with him for going off and quietly getting married to Renee Young and not telling anybody.
Big fucking deal. It's his life. They're all total divas.
I know. I agree with you, but this is how petty they are.
I know, but it's like, and that's when it gets to the point of, oh my God, this is how bad you people actually are. And those handful of people in WWE that I enjoy watching, that I'm invested in as a fan, it's like, I don't even want to watch it because of that bullshit now. I can't support the people I actually like because of all this other shit that's going on. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth these days. And I'm not sure why or when that started happening and why I started noticing it more, but it's just, now it's like, I don't enjoy WWE on pretty much any level.
It's getting...
Except 205 Live, the Cruiserweights, and a handful of wrestlers, and NXT. That's it.
Yeah,
And it's getting harder and harder to ignore the bad stuff to enjoy the good parts of it.
Yeah, there weren't too many highlights this week in general. Like you said, 205, the Cruiserweights, NXT, but Raw and SmackDown were 5 hours that I pretty much wish I could have back, except maybe Neville and TJ versus Jack Gallagher and Austin Aries. That was okay. Trying to think.
Even though TJP was in it.
Yeah, well, I know you're biased against him, but I overlooked it and still enjoyed the match. But
I enjoyed the match. I just don't like him.
But I'm drawing a blank on anything else. I mean, I did say I liked the Alexa Bliss promo that she got on Raw, and I guess I like seeing Shinsuke on SmackDown, but the way they used him, I could have taken a better use of him than what they gave us, so. And I'll say this much. The Jericho-Ambrose thing, when they actually got backstage and he was begging to be taken off the list, that was pretty funny to me. I did get a kick out of that. Yeah,
I like the homemade coat.
Yeah.
It's homemade light bright blazer.
Right, yeah, the Christmas tree ornament lights all around it. That was pretty good. And Jericho scratching his name off and then writing it back on the moment he left. That was vintage Jericho.
And Renee popping up on Twitter saying, those better not be our Christmas lights.
Yeah. Oh, but then, of course, we get Ambrose and Jericho and The Miz and Bray Wyatt in the main event of Raw, and Bray was the mystery partner who attacks his own partner.
What?
Go ahead.
What was that even? I mean, where the hell did that come from? 2 weeks ago, it was teasing a program with Finn Balor and Wyatt, and now he's teaming up with The Miz to go against. I mean, it made no sense.
No.
Even to the crowd, there was no noise because it made no sense.
Nor the fact that Miz would have recruited him in the first place, knowing full well that Bray would probably turn on you and kill you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And neither one of the shows who both needed to sell Payback did it.
No. I'm at a loss.
Why does SmackDown have to sell Payback?
Because of the whole Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt House of Horrors thing.
But that's such a throwaway match. Not even they know what's going on. It's going to start somewhere other than the ring and end there. I mean, this is such a throwaway match. They decided not even to have the title on the line.
Well, they can't because Jinder stole it.
Have the title. Yeah, Jinder stole it and ran away with it. Don't you know that was the whole purpose to that segment, to explain why the title won't be on the line? Because Randy doesn't have it. He can't defend it if he can't have it. Jinder's got it in a limo.
Yeah, riding around Des Moines, Iowa, going, he's the king of the world in Des Moines, Iowa.
As the Maharaja, it's like. But then the big thing was supposed to be with Kevin Owens. He's supposed to defend the title, and if he loses the title, he goes back to Raw, and Jericho comes to SmackDown. I think that was mentioned one time by Jericho on Raw.
Which would be just horrible.
And it's like, neither one of these shows bothered to sell Payback. And it's like, well, why should they bother? They're giving the network away for free. What the fuck does it matter anymore?
Kevin Owens, I like the Face of America gimmick, but the more he uses that catchphrase, the more I hear an old Chevrolet commercial in my head. That's the heartbeat of America. That's Kevin Owens today.
Ugh.
Okay, so do we want to just go ahead and get Payback out of the way, and then we can not talk about WWE anymore for the rest of the night?
Yes.
I'm good with that.
All right, so here's the card.
I don't even know what's on the damn card.
I've got the card for you. I can take you through it. starting with Bayley versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title.
Let's start with the pre-show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna have Miz TV on the pre-show. That's gonna be so exciting.
Okay, well,
with Finn.
Finn's not even going to be wrestling. He's going to be on Miz TV on the pre-show because reasons.
Unless he gets bonused onto the actual pay-per-view because they're running short on time.
But we've got that on the pre-show, and we've got Enzo and Big Cass versus the Club. Yay!
And for what reason? Is this like the new number one contender, whoever wins this, or?
Because tag teams.
Okay. So then we get to a match that actually does mean something, as I mentioned, Bayley and Alexa Bliss. So, is Miss Bliss taking the title here? Abby, what do you think?
They have messed up Bayley so bad. You know, she came up from NXT and she was a license to print money, and they just completely threw it away. And I don't think they'll be able to get it back. So I don't know what they're doing with it, with her or with it. I mean, Sasha and Alexa have real life heat, so I could see them parlaying that into, you know, an angle going forward. Bayley doesn't fit into that anywhere, and there's nobody there for her to feud with for the title. So if they're going forward with Alexa and Sasha, it only makes sense for Alexa to win.
Well, the other thing to factor in is the hometown curse, because it's in San Jose, and they really like to make people lose in their hometown.
Yeah, this is true. Another way of Vince, you know, embarrassing his talent.
Exactly. So, Jason, your thoughts?
Let me just turn off my brain and see if I can channel some WWE logic here on this match. It's like, because I want Alexa Bliss to win, and because that would be the right thing to do, Alexa Bliss is not going to win because Bayley is so messed up, and because they've messed her up so much, they're just going to keep the title on her because reasons.
Because reasons. Okay. I guess I'll go with Alexa Bliss winning. I was trying to find the odds while we were doing the preview, but I don't seem to be able to pull them up. This is another one of those cases where it's so low on the radar that it's Thursday night and the odds aren't out yet.
But they're already out for Backlash.
Yeah, how are their Backlash odds and not Payback odds? What the hell?
I don't know. I'll sit here and try to hunt them up.
All right.
If I can.
Well, while you do that, I'll go ahead to the next match, which is Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe. So, Jason, your thoughts on this one?
Samoa Joe, Samoa Joe, Samoa Joe. He is a monster, and he needs to destroy Rollins to make a big showing in his first main roster pay-per-view.
Do you really think they're that invested in him that they're going to do that when they've just anointed Seth Rollins with a brand new gimmick, a.k.a. the King Slayer?
Sure, and then Samoa Joe can be the next fodder for Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah, well.
After he beats big man Braun Strowman, his next big man that he can beat is Samoa Joe.
I suppose so. I'm not 100% convinced that they're ready to have Seth lose this quickly after beating Triple H, because then Triple H would be like, why did I do the job for you?
Okay, we got odds.
All right, what were the odds on Miss Bliss versus Bayley?
Oh, these are different odds than I'm used to. Early odds of a 64% probability. See Alexa Bliss winning against Bayley.
Can you URL me that in our Skype chat so I can look at it too while we're doing this?
I've got it pulled up on my computer. It's on Bet Wrestling.
Oh, okay. I should be able to find it then. So, what are your thoughts?
It's on the front page.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Rollins versus Samoa Joe?
I don't know. And I don't really care.
I know you don't care, but pick a winner anyway.
A part of me wants to see Samoa Joe kill him. The other part wants to see Seth's babyface run actually maybe work somewhat because he's so horrible at it. I'm going to say Joe gets the win.
Well, you and Jason are on the same page then, so I'm looking at the odds right now to see what they have to say about this. Samoa Joe. Seth Rollins is a 4-9 favorite to beat Samoa Joe, so that kind of leads to my inclination that Triple H didn't do the job for him just to have him lose, so I'm going to say Seth over Joe. That moves us on to Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. The match in which can they both lose?
The fans are the real losers in this one.
Shoot.
Right now we have Roman Reigns 6-4 over Braun Strowman at 1-2. So it looks like they're going to have him slay the beast or the monster among men or whatever it is the fuck they're calling him right now. It's the monster among men, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to make sure I got that one correct. I'm trying to remember the last person they actually called the beast. That's probably Brock Lesnar. That's why they can't call Braun Strowman the beast.
I don't know, but they've got Braun as the favorite in this one, so.
You gotta be kidding me. Braun doesn't have a chance in hell.
Of course not. It's Roman Reigns. He's coming
Roman
back
Reigns
from,
just
retribution.
retired The Undertaker.
I don't know. I'm smelling shenanigans to protect them both.
That wouldn't surprise
Probably an
me.
ambulance match.
Yeah, there weren't any stipulations announced, and I'm kind of surprised because that seemed to be the whole point of putting him in an ambulance and tipping it over, didn't it?
Hey, there's still more than 12 hours left before the show. Everything can change.
This is
Hell,
true.
the damn thing probably hadn't even been written yet. So,
Well, we know they haven't written the Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt match because they keep telling us over and over again they don't know what the match is.
Maybe it'll be in a truck, like a moving truck on the highway full of bales of hay.
That'd be a truck full of hay match, not a House of Horrors match.
Yeah, WCW did that back in the day.
I must have blocked that out. There's some bad WCW stuff I don't
I knew
even
somebody
remember.
did that. Yeah,
Maybe
I remember seeing that. It wasn't good. I don't think this Sunday it'll be good either.
Maybe they could do a Mythbusters match where they drive down the road in a plexiglass semi-trailer full of pigeons. See if they lighten the load.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, Dustin Rhodes was in the match. King of the Road match.
that's what it was called.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
And they fought in the back of an open 18-wheeler. Yeah.
With bales of hay as the ground. Yeah, it was pretty craptastic.
I literally have no memory of this. I'm gonna have to find that pay-per-view or episode of Nitro or whatever it was.
I'm going to find this on YouTube or something and send it to you after the show, Steve. You gotta see this. And for our listeners out there, you gotta go look this up. You look up Dustin Rhodes WCW truck match.
This honestly sounds like something I would have seen on Wrestling with Regret. It would fit right in.
Brian Zane, if you're listening, you need to do a show on this. You definitely need to do a show on this, and it's long overdue.
Right. Okay, so moving on then, since we don't know what that match is, I'm not even going to pick a winner in that. We'll go to Neville and Austin Aries.
Neville.
Evil Elkin.
As much as I like Austin Aries, I still don't feel like he's been pushed in this feud long enough that it's time to put him over. I feel like it needs more of a burn.
And Neville just does so well as a heel as opposed to TJ Perkins, who just sucks, but he's like your one good heel. I mean, I guess Brian Kendrick is okay, but Neville is just next level heel in terms of cruiserweights.
Yeah, everything that Neville wasn't as a babyface, he is 100 times more as a heel. They have found the role for him that really fits.
He is a great heel champion. I love it.
So we're unanimous then that Neville retains?
Looks that way.
Hopefully.
All right. Moving on to the Hardy Boys defending against Cesaro and Sheamus. Abby, your thoughts?
Part of me hopes the rumor is true that Vince has found a way to buy the whole broken gimmick from Impact and Anthem and that fuck that out. And that the Hardys lose so Matt can go ahead and become broken again. Then again, the other half of me doesn't want to see the titles back on Cesaro and Sheamus because that means that Cesaro is still stuck in this tag team.
I'm going to echo that, and I'm actually going to go a step further than that. If they're going to become broken in WWE, I don't want it to be an overnight thing. I want it to be what we've seen already where Matt teases it here and there, but doesn't quite do it. and we get a little bit closer to it and a little bit closer to it, and it should be a payoff where he loses and Jeff loses the titles in some big main event like a SummerSlam level TLC type match, and that's what breaks his mind and he becomes truly broken again.
And will they reboot?
No, that'll take too long. WWE wants that merchandise money now.
They aren't making enough merch money on just the Hardys nostalgia? I'm sure they're making tons.
I don't know. I mean, but the thing is, they need to kind of strike while the iron is hot on this, because the longer it's away from the fans, the less it's going to matter to them when it comes back.
Except, fuck that owl. You could just assume that nobody ever really knew what it was except for the hardcores who went to WrestleMania. They knew because they follow wrestling like we follow wrestling, but you can't assume the entire WWE universe, and God, I hate using that term, you can't assume they all know about the Broken Hardys. You can build it up.
Exactly. You can build it up, but it's WWE. They'll do something weird with it that will make it not work like it did in Impact. So
you're saying
I don't know, they'll send him out there in a mouth guard. Who the hell knows? Do something to fuck it up.
So your theory here is the sooner they do it, the less chance they have to fuck with it.
Yes.
That I can buy. So I'm going to say the Hardy Boys retain here.
Is there another Raw pay-per-view between now and SummerSlam?
What's after Backlash?
Backlash? I'm not good enough to wear Backlash?
What is next? List of pay-per-view events. Let's see. Boy, this is a long fucking page.
Extreme Rules is for Raw, and that's in June.
Okay.
Money in the Bank is SmackDown, and that's in June.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Blood is for Raw in July. Battleground is for
wait.
Raw,
I thought
SmackDown in July.
I thought they said there was no Bad Blood, and that was just an internet hoax.
I don't know. This is from CBS Sports from yesterday.
Because I was told that whoever said that they announced a pay-per-view in Hartford when WWE did their Raw or SmackDown in Hartford was just straight up fucking lying.
It's still on the list from CBS Sports. I kind of trust them more than I do WrestleZone.
Yeah, but I guess it's like Chris Jericho. Once you're on the list, you never get off.
Where I was going with this, with my line of reasoning, is I'm going to say the Hardy Boys retain, because, as Stevie was saying, as soon as you take the titles off of them, you are going to need to pull the trigger on the broken gimmick, either right then and there on that pay-per-view, or the Raw after that pay-per-view. You really don't have time to fiddle around with it, to take the titles off the Hardys, and then not turn them right away into Broken Matt Hardy. And I don't think they've quite acquired that from Anthem yet, so I'm going to say they're going to retain the titles until at least the next pay-per-view where they can do that.
All right, then. So that moves us on to, I presume, the main event, but I don't really know. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho?
No, Braun and what's-his-face will be the main event.
This is such
with
a weird...
Roman standing tall at the end of the show.
Yeah, it's so weird, though, because there's no world title, because Brock Lesnar isn't here, so it kind of feels like a title match should be the main event, even if it's not the heavyweight title.
Well, of course it does, but this is WWE, and it's Roman.
Okay, well, then we've already talked about Reigns and Strowman, so let's talk about what's not the main event, Owens and Jericho. What do you think, Abby?
Owens, easily.
Yeah, Jericho's going on
Jericho's
tour.
leaving to go on tour, so...
Unless this is like the swerve of all swerves, I totally agree with you.
I mean, SmackDown needs at least, one title we can give a damn about, because we don't with Randy Orton and the WWE title.
Nope. And Kevin Owens is the heartbeat of America right now, so let's...
The face of America, not the heartbeat. He's not a Chevrolet.
That's my gimmick now. I'm sticking to it. Anyway, Jason, what are your thoughts on this match?
I'm going with Kevin Owens, too, because we know Jericho is leaving to go do his Fozzy thing. And yeah, WWE does not want to have two belts out of circulation. They don't want to have a belt out of circulation on each show. It just would be stupid, but all the more reason they would do it. But I'm still gonna defy WWE logic, go with real world logic, and say Kevin Owens wins here.
I'm gonna make it unanimous. Kevin Owens wins.
You can tell how excited and thrilled we are for this Sunday.
I'm more excited about the New Japan show that's coming up on Saturday than I am for the WWE show on Sunday. But
I thought the show this morning was good, even though I didn't get to see it until this afternoon.
Okay, well, before we get into New Japan, why don't we go ahead and do Jordan's Corner right now, and then the rest of the show we can talk about things other than WWE and New Japan goodness.
Hello?
Jordan.
Great to be here, back on Thursday Night AMP. Can you guys hear me?
Not quite. You're cutting out a little bit. Get a little closer to your phone.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, that's better. So it's Jordan's Corner right here on Thursday Night AMP. What's going on in the world of Jordan Garber right now?
Not too much, Steve. I'm just sitting here at my desk at work waiting for a ride home, and it's great to be back here on Thursday Night AMP. It's definitely been a week, and I'm looking forward to always being here every 7 days. So it's good to be on and join that routine again.
No doubt about it. But what are your thoughts on WWE Payback coming up on Sunday? Are you looking forward to the show?
Absolutely. You know, I haven't been catching up too much with WWE Payback. I've been watching a lot of classic content. Oh my goodness. My voice is at work, so I sound like this. But there's a lot of classic content that I've been enjoying on the WWE Network, but I am most certainly going to be watching WWE Payback on the WWE Network. It's going to be interesting to see, and my favorite storyline heading into this pay-per-view is none other than Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. Like, what do you guys think?
Oh,
Roman, hate him.
I'm sorry. The reason I'm laughing, Jordan, is because we already buried that match in the course of the show before you came on. So explain why this is your favorite.
Oh, excellent. In regards to that, you know, Braun Strowman having my favorite match. Sorry, I'm just confused. I'm sidetracked. I'm fucking 5 messages at once here. Anyways, Braun Strowman, we once talked about on the podcast that Chicken in the Can was more entertaining. Do you remember that episode?
Yes, I do.
So, I think Braun Strowman has outbeat the Chicken in the Can, but I think he's definitely now Clemente's are now more entertaining than him. He graduated past the Chicken in the Can, but there's still far more many things that are entertaining than him still.
Well, no pun intended, but how does feeding him to Roman Reigns move him up the packaged food scale? If Roman beats him, what good does that do?
Exactly, too. You know, it's like, when you look at this match, I can see the pros of it and I can see the cons of it. The cons of it are stating if whoever wins and whoever's over, what is this really going to do for their future in the WWE? Like, really, looking at this in a nutshell. If Roman Reigns is over, what else is going to happen? I kind of want Strowman to be over because I kind of want to see a new face around town. I want to see a new main event face. And you know what? Braun Strowman isn't the greatest worker, but you could definitely tell he's been working hard and he's been getting a lot of crowd reaction, and a lot of people hate him. So he's doing his job as a heel, and I'm kind of rooting for Strowman in this one. I kind of feel that Reigns, he's being shoved down fans' throats. We've discussed this every week on the podcast, and I think the wrestling product should choose the fans, kind of give fans a say and a voice, and I think making Roman Reigns top dog isn't doing that.
I agree. You make a good point, Jordan, and you usually do when you have Jordan's Corner, so I commend you on that. But since your corner is just about to end and you've got some friends to meet up with, let's get your cheap plugs before I let you go.
Absolutely. I'm sitting here at my desk right now, and all week at work, I have been preparing for the return of Jordan Garber Now. I've been on many podcasts stating about the return of Jordan Garber Now, featuring the surprise WWE Hall of Famer. So stay tuned for that. Some names we do have announced for the podcast are none other than Jacob Creed. He's a Saskatchewan wrestling standout. And we got beautiful Bobby J. He actually is a local guy in Winnipeg, and he actually wrestled Owen Hart in '92 when he was a jobber. And he's going to kind of talk about, being grateful to work with Owen still even, during that time and many other things. Expect the best of all the regions throughout America and Canada on Jordan Garber Now. And to kick off those episodes, we got a mystery Hall of Famer. Who will it be? You guys will love it when it's announced. And of course, we got the best in Manitoba, Bobby J, and we got Jacob Creed, the best in Saskatchewan. And we're going to continue to present the best in the regions. A lot of good stuff is happening for this show. You can follow it on Twitter at Jordan Garber Now. You can also follow me on Twitter at Jordan J. Garber, sorry. It's that point in my wrestling journey where I kind of got to make an impact, and I assure all of you guys the return era of Jordan Garber Now will most definitely make an impact, and when I am doing that show, I'll be 100% ready and ready to make headlines.
Well, you keep putting over everybody that's going to be on the show as the face of so-and-so, but I would say you're the face of your territory too, so don't knock it. You also represent for your turf.
Absolutely. And you know what? The way we think about it this way, Steve. We have a CWE show, and I kind of don't want to say it on the air because it will be a spoiler alert, but we got a show in town on Friday, May the 5th. I always talk about this company. And at the same time, Steve, we have Premier Championship Wrestling at 9, on the other side of the city featuring Kenny Omega. So we got a WWE Hall of Famer on one show and Kenny Omega on 2 shows in Winnipeg in the same night for 2 different promotions. Safe to say Winnipeg wrestling's hot right now.
Indeed, and you're helping to make it hot. So keep up the good work, Jordan, and we'll catch you again in 7 days right here on Thursday night AMP.
Absolutely. See you in 7, and thank you for having me on again.
Always a pleasure, Jordan. Take care.
Take care.
All right, that was Jordan's Corner right here on Thursday night AMP, and now we can move on to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And as I always do, I turn over the reins to Abby. Take the lead.
Oh, this morning we had Road to Wrestling Dontaku, 2 championship matches. The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag titles were on the line, and the Never Openweight titles were on the line. And thanks to a stupid-ass client who dumped a vat of acid into a ditch this morning at about 3:45, I didn't get to watch live. I had to wait until this afternoon. So I was not too happy about that because I wanted to be up at stupid o'clock with everybody else.
I got up at stupid o'clock, and I watched it again in the afternoon. So it was the same.
The first match,
same in the afternoon as it was at stupid o'clock. Trust me.
But I'm guessing it wasn't anything to write home about because you didn't actually write anything about it.
It's a Road 2 show. Hell with that.
It was a good Road 2 show, though.
It was an okay Road 2 show.
I enjoyed it. Compared to what WWE had to offer this week, it was a
especially
really
this week,
good
yes.
show.
Yes, compared to WWE this week, it was a good show. I'm just feeling a bit down and nostalgic for the good old days of New Japan, I suppose.
Well, now I heard there were a couple of disturbing spots during the show this morning.
There was one for me that it made me cringe, and that was during the Chaos Bullet Club match with Okada and Yoshihashi and Ishii and Omega, Fale, and the Sleaze.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny went for that standing Rana that he does, and I don't know if Ishii just didn't flip or if he had trouble and Ishii just dropped and Kenny dropped on the back of his head, looked like he was out of it. So yeah, that was a scary moment for me during that match. I don't know. I don't remember seeing any other ones.
Well, that was the first one I was thinking of, and I'm trying to remember what the other one was, because, I mean, it seems like lately that's all you hear anymore from every New Japan show is that somebody took a scary spot or a bump they really didn't need to.
There was a couple of spots in the Misu Goto match. I mean, Goto took a chair shot to the head.
That was the other one I was thinking of.
Desperado, yeah, that was a thing of beauty, though. That was Goto. He deserved it.
Yeah,
No,
of course people have
no,
to
no,
understand.
no.
Let me say what I was going to say. The thing you have to understand with the New Japan chairs, they're not the chairs that we have. They're not folding chairs like we have here. The bottoms pop out of them. That doesn't make it any better, and it doesn't make the visual any better, but I think it's a safer headshot to take than a steel folding chair that we're accustomed to.
I will grant
because
you,
literally the seat just popped out.
I will
But
grant.
still, it's not a good visual, especially after Shibata.
I was just going to say that, considering we had a guy with a subdural hematoma, it's not really a
Who
good
is
idea.
still in ICU. Shibata is, in case people are wondering, Shibata gave an update on his status earlier this week. He's still in ICU.
Partial numbness.
He is, yes, his right side is still handicapped. He's undergoing another surgery on May the 2nd to replace the pieces of his skull that were removed to relieve the pressure on his brain. So hopefully he'll be back on the mend and fully reassembled again. But yeah, that's the latest on Shibata. But yeah, you don't want to see any kind of headshots after Hanma and after Shibata. And plus, Goto did that stupid ass, head-to-head, hard-ass headbutt.
On Misu, yeah, that was kind of like, it was like, that's not the move you... Number one, it's not a move you should ever do against Misu. Against a guy who's got the shoot background of Misu, if Gato headbutts Misu, Gato should be the one going down. That's just a boneheaded maneuver to do.
Yeah, and it's not really smart to do it right now so soon after Shibata.
That too.
It's not a good visual. You just sit there and just cringe.
Yeah. It's a time and a place for everything, and right now, excessive shots to the head are not the time and place in New Japan. Avoid them.
Yes. But no, this morning's card was fun. The first match was Liger, Kawada, and Oka against Tiger Mask, Kitamura, and Umino. And I thought this was good. I like this new crop of young lions. They, Kawada's got all that fire, and
yeah, I really
Kitamura
like Kawada. Kawada is really coming into his ferocity, like you're saying. His fire is just amazing.
Kitamura is just scary. Umino is fun simply because I know he's Red Shoes' son. So
yeah,
that's what makes him fun. And Oka, well, Oka's, I'm still thinking he's an undercover
he's
uncle.
An uncle.
So.
Yeah, he's 45.
But it's always fun to see Liger get so pissed off with his teammates that he starts kicking them, which we got to see this morning. And when it's a young lion, it's even better.
Sure, why not?
We got to see a young lion win with the Boston Crab, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it wasn't Liger
it
going
was
over.
Oka.
Yeah. It wasn't Liger or Tiger Mask getting the pin. It was the Uncle Young Boy that, got the win. So it was good that they let one of the young boys get the win in the match.
Next match was Toru Yano and Will Ospreay against Taka Michinoku and El Desperado. This was originally supposed to be a 6-man match, but since Desperado didn't give, Azuka a snack before the last show, I think he tripped over a chair chasing a small child to eat and broke his ankle. So Azuka is off the shows, off the rest of this tour. So they had to change this up to just a straight tag team match.
Now, does Will Ospreay teaming with Toru Yano make you hate Ospreay any less?
I don't hate Will, I just don't like him. He's fun to watch, but it's just something about, I don't like these British guys in New Japan. I don't know what it is. If they're in Rev Pro or, Progress, I love them to death. There's just something about them in New Japan that just rubs me the wrong way.
Of course,
my favorite part,
too.
My favorite part of the whole show was Yano doing Will's pose with him, which is why I used that picture on my cover story.
Then kneeling down on the mat with their fist to the mat. The
superhero pose. Yeah.
With Yano doing that was hilarious. Yeah.
That's why I used that video clip and that picture for my story earlier today. Yes. Yano is such a ham. But yeah, this was fun. I hope Desperado kind of breaks out a little bit during Best of the Super Juniors if he's in it, because I think everybody's forgotten just how batshit he is and crazy and fun to watch.
They're kind of setting him up for that. This show kind of featured Desperado very heavily.
Well, yeah, doing Desperado shit, which is running in and interfering for Suzuki-gun. I want him to have actual matches, because he's good.
And I think Best of the Super Juniors is a place to highlight that, and what they're doing now is putting him on everybody's radar, saying, yeah, he's here, remember him?
Yeah, but Will got the win with the Os Cutter on Taka for this one. Fun match, but, nothing great and wonderful. Next match was Ten Cozy and David Finlay, who, God, the boy needs a makeover. Isn't there still that makeover show on the Learning Channel? like Desperately Seeking Style or some kind of something like that, What Not to Wear. I can't remember what it is, but we should call and get David on that show. Against Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, and the other one. Chase Owens, since I can't ever remember his name.
Man bun.
No, because he doesn't wear a bun anymore. He's got that stupid little ponytail. It's like he's got the sides of his head shaved and then that little ponytail on the back.
He'll always be man bun.
I don't know. This really didn't do anything for me. I love Cozy. I love Bread Club. But other than that, this didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, it's kind of like, the Girls of Destiny are like, Chase Owens is the forgotten member of Bullet Club. You've got Ten Cozy, you've got Finley, and it's just not a recipe for excitement.
Tensong got the win with the Anaconda Vice on Owens. It was kind of a filler match. Then we had the junior heavyweight tag team match between Roppongi Vice and Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Tai Chi. This I liked. This was fun.
This was as good as it could be, given the fact that Roppongi Vice's opponents were Kanemaru and Tai Chi. It's like they did the best they could with what they had to work with. Granted, they work a lot better with teams like the Young Bucks, or when Red Dragon was coming in, they did a lot better. This had a kind of a slower pace, a kind of clash of styles. It was disjointed a bit. Tai Chi took forever taping that hammer to his leg. There was that spot where the ref was supposed to get pulled out of the ring, and that was just ugly because he counted 3 and the match didn't end. I mean, there was some ugliness to the match, but it was as good a match as it could be, I thought, given the competitors involved.
Yeah, and seeing a Tower of Doom spot in a junior tag team match in New Japan kind of threw me off a little bit.
Haven't we seen that from Roppongi Vice before?
I haven't seen them do it in New Japan. Not with Rocky doing, the power bomb on the 2 guys and then Trent getting superplexed. No, I've never seen them do that in New Japan.
That was a cool spot.
Tai Chi ripping his pants off was not a cool spot.
I'm sure you threw up in your mouth a little bit when he did that.
A little bit. And of course, I can't get too excited about Roppongi Vice winning the titles because with the Young Bucks coming back in to challenge for him at Dominion, I just,
It'll be a great match.
I just can't really get excited about it.
I can get excited about that matchup, though. That's going to be a phenomenal matchup.
Then we had Taguchi Japan and Los Ingobernables de Japón, which I don't know why I love these 2 groups fighting so much, but I do, because it's so much damn fun.
I hate Taguchi Japan. I really do.
I don't hate him. I just hate Yoshitatsu. I don't know why he and his bad perm are there.
I don't like Yoshitatsu. I don't like Taguchi. It's like they make me not care about the other guys that are wrestling. It's like, how can you get me bored with Los Ingobernables de Japón? Yeah, put them in there with Taguchi Japan.
No, these are fun matches. I mean, there's just enough comedy in them from Taguchi to keep them from being dry. I mean, and it made me wonder today, where is Nakanishi? Have we seen him? Is there something wrong with him that we've missed? Because he was one of the original members of Taguchi Japan. Remember when they won the Never 6-man tag match, the tag titles?
They want to split up the uncles.
I know.
I thought I'd heard he was having some health problems.
Well, I'd heard he had the flu, but that was before all of this. That was earlier in the year.
I mean, honestly, I'll tell you my favorite part of this match was actually pre-match, with Naito kicking the belt down to the ring and Hiromu playing with his weird wooden fashion doll.
That boy ain't right in the head.
He really is. There's something about having the last name of Takahashi that just makes you have a screw loose. It just makes you kind of weird.
If you missed Hiromu's tweet today, it was him playing with the art dolls and then pretending or looking like he ate the one that had Ricochet's name on it and then bleeding out of his mouth.
Ate in the most disgusting way possible.
Yes, like swallowed it whole like a snake,
Like Linda Lovelace ate.
Yeah, he deep-throated the art doll, okay? You want to get technical about it, he deep-throated the art doll. And then turns around and looks at the camera and smiles with blood coming out of his teeth, And And then Ricochet gets on Twitter, man, those blood capsules weren't even convincing, and I knew you tossed that doll behind your head. Like, dude, you just ruined it for all of us. It's still real to us.
It's still real to me, damn it. That boy ain't right.
But no, I mean, these matches are all about setting up the three singles matches for Saturday. Tana and Evil, Naito and Juice, and Ricochet and Takahashi, which should all be incredible matches.
And boy, is New Japan doing a great job of building up Juice Robinson.
I know. I don't expect him to win at all come Saturday, but damn, he's been built up to look like a good threat.
He's got one hell of a push going into it, but I don't expect him to win either. But why are they building him up as a credible threat, having him get win after win after win?
And Juice got the win in this match with hitting, what is that move's name?
Pulp Friction?
Yes, Pulp Friction on Sonata, who has kind of just fallen off the map. He's in Bushi territory now. It's kind of like he's in purgatory.
Which is a shame. He's got such a cool look. I mean, they all got a cool look, but... Well, except for Naito, he's just got like a rat's nest on his head, but the rest of them...
Naito's just cool, period. He doesn't need to have a good look.
As long as he kicks the belt to the ring, he can look however he wants to. Kicking it like a soccer ball to the ring.
The next match was Bad Luck Fale, Kenny Omega, and Yujiro Takahashi taking on Okada, Ishii, and Yoshihashi. Whoever the hell got in Okada's ear and said that having eggplant-colored hair was a good idea needs to be slapped.
My money's on
Okada
Gato.
now has purple hair.
I'm betting that was Gato.
God, it's so tacky.
It really is.
Purple hair, purple hair.
The artist formerly known as Okada.
Yeah. They're building up Fale real strong, too. I'm not sure why, because
he has to face Okada.
Yeah, but I mean, unless they're planning on taking the title off of Okada at Dontaku next week and putting it on Fale, I'm not really sure what this is heading towards.
I would be more surprised if Fale won than if Braun Strowman won. I mean, that's how surprised they would be if Bad Luck Fale beat Kenny Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight title at Dontaku.
Okada, not Omega.
Okada, excuse me.
I mean, it comes out
Omega's
one
the guy
of
who
two ways.
should
Either,
have the title.
Yes.
It comes out one of two ways. Either Fale loses clean like he always does, or they're going to put the title on Fale as a way to get it on Omega before they come over here and save Okada Omega 2 for another big show.
Even as
how that would really work, I don't know, but...
Even as a transitional champion, I don't want to see Bad Luck Fale with the IWGP Heavyweight.
I don't either.
That's unanimous. I don't think Fale should have that title.
No, but I mean, they've got to get that title on Omega. They've got to. And I'm just not sure how they do it still. I've been trying to rack my brain to figure out some way of them doing it, and I can't see them having the match here during the G1 specials and put the belt on Omega, because that would kind of be like a slap in the face to Japan.
That would screw up the G1 thing, too. Does the champion wrestle in the G1, or does the champion...
Yeah, the champion always wrestles in the G1.
Okay.
That's one of the fun parts we always talk about with it is, what if the champion wins? Does he face himself?
Mm-hmm. This match, though, this one this morning was mostly about Ishii and Omega. And yeah, that scary Rana spot, I didn't like that too much. Because it literally looked like it knocked Kenny out, and it made Ishii even loopy looking. And it's like, I didn't see Kenny until like the end of the match. And it's like, oh my God, is he like really hurt or something? Because, yeah, it didn't look good.
And for the love of God, Japanese chair or not, no more chair shots.
Yes, the next match was
Tai Chi. Then you can chair shot him all you want.
Not even him. Even Tai Chi.
No, we don't want it on
better.
anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, let Trent hit him with that ugly little hammer. I'm fine with that, but no chair shots to the head for anybody. Mm-hmm. Then we had the never open weight title match with Suzuki and Goto, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good match, and I don't really like Goto at all, but I enjoyed him in this match. He and Suzuki worked really well together.
Again, they did well for the bizarre clash of styles the two wrestlers employ. It was good to see some of the submission work from Suzuki. Gato got his usual shit in with the Ushigoroshi and his weird arsenal of moves. But yeah, it was just wonderful to see Suzuki put a beating on Gato. It's just, yes, please, just kick his ass.
Yes, that's what I tuned in to see was, Misu brutalized Gato, and so I was very happy. And plus now, hopefully we can get Suzuki out of these random meaningless tag matches and into some singles feuds that actually mean something.
I mean, this feels right because once again we have a legitimate badass as the never openweight champion. When Shibata had that, we had a genuine badass. Guy like Ishii, genuine badass. That's kind of what that title has come to represent, and Gato just didn't quite fit that mold.
Gato doesn't fit any mold. He's like a square peg in a round hole for every mold there is.
He fits the Noah mold. Send him there.
I mean, I'm not saying that to be ugly, but he's just one of these guys that I just cannot, for the life of me, muster up any kind of investment in. I don't hate him. I don't really even dislike him. He's just kind of there. But yes, I enjoyed the show. I thought it was a really good show from bell to bell, so.
Yeah, I'm kind of burned out myself on multi-man tag matches. Like what I was thinking during the Fale Omega Yujiro match, I was saying, I'd rather see these as 3 5-minute singles matches than 1 15-minute 6-man tag match.
Well, we have, on Saturday, we have Wrestling Toyo Province 2017, so there'll be plenty of singles matches there. Well, maybe not plenty, but at least 3.
There will be 3, yeah. There's 2 title matches and 1 special attraction match.
Yes. And then the rest are tag matches. First match, Saturday morning, it starts at, 4, I'm trying to do math in my head, which never works. 4 a.m. Eastern. Yes, and it opens with the same match we got this morning. Oka, Kawato, and Liger versus Umino, Kitamura, and Tiger Mask. Which we saw it this morning. It should be good on Saturday morning, too.
Yeah.
Then we have Roppongi Vice up against El Desperado and Kane Meru, which should be good.
Is this going to be a non-title match?
Yes, it is. It doesn't say that it's a title match.
Okay.
Third match is Yoshitatsu and Taguchi. This is your dream match right here.
This is my bathroom break match.
Yoshitatsu and his bad perm and Taguchi against Bushi and Sonata. God, I keep feeling so sorry for Bushi. He deserves better than this, too. I don't know why
and hopefully
they
when
don't
Best of the Super Juniors starts, they can feature him prominently again.
I don't know why New Japan can't have singles feuds that aren't for the title.
Yeah, that's something
except
that
for
they
Evil and
sorely
Tana.
miss.
Yeah, have programs that aren't just tag team matches. We're okay with 2 guys just facing off.
As I said, I would rather see 3 5-minute singles matches than 1 15-minute 6-man tag match.
Then we have David Finlay and Tenkozy against Yujiro Takahashi, Tangaloa, and Tama Tonga. I don't know why New Japan insists on calling him Tangaroa. I don't know
about this match either.
Oh, then we have another 6-man tag: Will Ospreay, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto against Taka Michinoku, Taichi, and Minoru Suzuki. I'm fine as long as Misu beats up on Will.
It's like I like Taka Michinoku and I like Suzuki, but Taichi, come on.
Nobody likes Taichi. Then we have another 6-man match: Yano, Ishii, and Okada against Chase Owens, Kenny Omega, and Bad Luck Fale. As long as Kenny and Yano get some time in there together, I'm good because they've just got great chemistry and always make me laugh. And as long as nobody gets dropped on their head again in this match, I will be fine. Then we get into the good stuff. IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match: Hiromu Takahashi and Ricochet. This should just be insane.
Fantastic. Yes. Should be a great match.
Yeah, they're going to fly all over the place and try to.
The last time we've seen Takahashi take on a guy like this was when he was taking on what's that?
Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, this should be on par with Dragon Lee because Ricochet can bring it like Dragon Lee brings it.
Yeah, let's just hope there's not as many sick bumps and spots because Ricochet's got a hurt neck right now, and we don't really want to exacerbate that.
I would doubt it because I don't think Takahashi and Ricochet had that that match chemistry. They haven't worked each other 100 million times like Dragon Lee and Takahashi had in CMLL.
Let's just hope that, nobody dies and that they both can walk after the match.
Let's have some fun high spots, but no sick spots.
Yeah, please. Then we have the special singles match with Tana and Evil, which I'm kind of looking forward to this too. These two work really well together. And it's always fun to see Evil just, yank Tana around by that stupid floofy ponytail.
Oh, yeah. What'd you think of Tana's hair today?
It was extra floofy.
He had the braids going. He had the floofy ponytail going. He was all gussied up for you today, Abby.
I know, and I missed it. Oh, well, I guess I'll catch it Saturday morning. Then we have the IWGP Intercontinental title match with Naito and Juice. I expect the match to be good, but I don't see Juice winning.
I don't see Juice winning either. Like I said, he's had a great push. They're building him up as a very credible challenger, but yeah, I think they're doing that just to get Naito over that much more. So that Naito is
even though they're not doing anything with Naito.
They don't have to. Naito is over like a fat rat. They don't have to do anything with Naito. They just have to trot him out there.
Yeah, but they need to do something with him. I don't know what, but something. And that is the card for Saturday morning. It starts at 4 a.m. Eastern and should probably be almost close to a 4-hour show. And then the next one, I think, is the next show, Dontaku. Because I know it's on the 2nd. Or is it on the 5th? I can't keep up.
Wrestling Tacos is Wednesday, May 3rd.
Dontaku is Wednesday the 3rd.
It's always the 3rd, yeah. It's always May 3rd. It's a holiday in Japan.
Well, since we won't be back before Dontaku, we'll run through the card right quick. Opening match for Dontaku is Kawato and Yoshitatsu against Kitamura and Oka. If only Yoshitatsu was not in this match.
Hopefully Kitamura will just manhandle and just destroy Yoshitatsu. I would love to see
I like that idea. Second match is Will Ospreay and Yoshihashi against Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi. Yeah, don't really get the appeal in that match. Third match is Tiger Mask W, also known as Kota Ibushi, and Togi Makabe against Jushin Thunder Liger. Nakanishi's back, and Yuji Nagata.
So is Makabe. Shit. I didn't realize I had missed him until he was gone, and now I want him to be gone again so I can miss him some more.
Third match is Roppongi Vice, Jado, Yano, and Gato against all of Suzuki-gun. Taka Michinoku, El Desperado, Tai Chi, Kanemaru, and Suzuki.
So Jano, Yano, and Gato walk into a bar. Sounds like the setup to a joke.
Fourth match is David Finlay versus Cody Rhodes. I don't see the appeal in that either.
It's a singles match, but it's a throwaway singles match. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Fifth match, Kushida and Juice Robinson versus Takahashi and Naito.
That should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fun. Sixth match is the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship 3-way match. We have War Machine versus Tenkozy versus God. Which I don't know why God is in the match.
Yeah, that adds nothing.
No, but War Machine should be good.
They pick up their game in New Japan. I'm impressed with them.
Yes. Then we have seventh match, which is for the never openweight 6-man tag team titles. Ricochet, Taguchi, and Tanahashi versus Bushi, Evil, and Sonata.
Ooh, yeah.
More Taguchi Japan versus Los Ingobernables. That should be good. Eighth match is a special singles match. Tomohiro Ishii against Kenny Omega, which I will love and hate this match.
Cup first round match, that's going to be money.
Yeah. I will love and hate this match all at the same time because Ishii is like my favorite thing on God's green earth, but I physically cannot boo Kenny Omega.
This is going to steal the show. This is going to be better than the main event.
This is like the opposite of the Braun Strowman Roman Reigns problem. You don't want anybody to win in that one, and in this one, you don't want anybody to lose.
No, I can't. I've tried to, go against Kenny Omega in a match, and I just can't do it. Physically, it's impossible. It makes me kind of nauseous. Even with Ishii, I just can't do it.
Impressive.
And then the 9th match is for the IWGP Heavyweight title, and it is Okada versus Fale. And like I said earlier, the only way I see Fale winning is if they're setting something up to where Omega takes the title from Fale. Like, he beats Ishii in this match. We see him finally win that big singles match for the first time. He wins a singles match since, losing to Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, and comes out and says to the winner of this match, whoever, okay, I'm back. I want my rematch for this title.
And then he grabs it at Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
Could be, but please don't put the belt on Fale. God damn it, don't do it.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't have a problem with him. Well, I don't know. Personally, I would like to see Okada Omega 2 at Wrestle Kingdom. Dominion is the only other big show that they could do it at, though. I mean, that gives them 2 months to build up to it, so I don't know. As long as Omega walks out of Dominion as the champion, I think that's really all that matters, and that's like the end game plan right now. I just don't really know how they get there logistically.
Kind of, but yeah, I mean, I think it says a lot more if he beats Okada for the title at Dominion than it would if he beat Fale at Dominion for the title.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Bad Luck Fale? When has he ever been a serious singles competitor threat to any title anywhere?
Well, he had a halfway decent Intercontinental title run. He and Nakamura had some good matches. Fale can put on a good match. It just depends on who you've got him in there with.
And you've got him in there with Okada, who can mail it in sometimes.
Yeah. Let's just hope that's not the case on Saturday. And that is it for the New Japan news.
All right, well then I guess that makes it time for closing plugs. Abby, you go ahead.
Oh, let's see. You can find me on Twitter at Abby A. Top Rope Press. I'll plug Angry Marks. And I will plug Progress and RevPro, their streaming services, for all of your British wrestling needs, because they're just great.
All right, Jason.
And cheaper than WWE Network.
And cheaper, yes. And Jason.
I'm going to plug Daily Motion. Go to Daily Motion, type in Dustin Rhodes' King of the Road match, and watch that god-awful match that takes place in a moving truck with bales of hay. So yeah, I'm going to plug the King of the Road match because it's horrible, because WCW.